So these are the cameras here, buddy, right? So that's that one. Still validation process.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Farm Boys Race 2018.
That's what I'm going to do to talk about.
You're on the circuit, Motocross Races. So we just want to extend the thank you to everyone for coming out. Today, supporting the race. Thank you to all the staff, to all the guys later. Thank you to all those guys for helping us. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to the Moto Medic staff and our MMA staff. And our flaggers. Let's hope we have a smooth day. Keep things running on track.
Not showing it
Everyone
yet.
else take off their hats. We're going to have a safety car go off and start the day off without getting down.
Live from Brandon. How come it's got a logo up there instead?
And then
Sorry, what's that, buddy?
it was if you look on the description like that, what is it? Put it down.
Oh crap.
Motocross. Oh, it's from Altona. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just change that.
I don't know if I can log in and edit that or not.
Alright, let's get racing underway when they're ready. Everyone, let's have a good, fun, safe day. Please help us have an enjoyable race day. We saw some of the rules that I hope you'll help us out with. Just saves a little bit of extra effort on our behalf, so we much appreciate yeah. So alright, let's have a good, fun day of racing.
Hey Brad, where are you? We can't do a race without you, buddy.
Putting on such a wonderful event.
Let's go, buddy.
Appropriate words, drop stuff hot,
Is someone making fun of you?
What's that? Everyone always makes fun of me. Why wouldn't people make fun of me? I'm a fucking funny guy.
Where do you want to stand, buddy?
I'll just stand back here.
Okay, good. So Mike, you're on that camera too.
That's still practice.
Oh, we're still practicing?
Gotta be.
Why is that?
I don't think I saw a gate drop. Or no, it's a moto. Never mind.
You're live.
The audio's on right now? Perfect. Bailey Orbanski on the 28 machine out front, as this is not practice, this is a moto. Leading on her brand new 2018 YZ85, the 28 machine out front early. I believe that's the little ladies division. We have the 849 in second, followed by the 82 machine. Adam Orvis out there grabbing some photos after he finishes his practice session in the A class. Regional national champion, or regional champion Jet Sutherland, Mason Litwin, and Lyndon Orbanski run out your 50cc 7 to 8 class. 7 to 8 years old out there on the track right now. This is your first moto from Brandon. round 3 of the 13-round Manitoba Motocross Championship Series. I am your host, Brad Gebhardt. You're listening to us and watching us as well on mbsportsnetwork.com. MB Sports Network, where you can find all 13 rounds of Manitoba Motocross action. There's our famed shutterbug, Adam Orvis, snapping some photos. Racing in the National this last weekend. Enjoying some success that way. The 309 in your program, number 1 when it comes to taking photos here in Manitoba. Always taking photos of the racers in and around. I believe I see Ed Mosevich out there as well. I could be wrong though. Might not be Ed. Into the back section of the track. Some of it out of view from where we're currently looking at, but we'll get as they re-enter the view, as Bailey Urbanski is on her way to a convincing victory so far. The 57 of Layla McDougall, as well as Trinity Bassarab, also out there on the 112. Currently in second place in your Little Ladies division, that's Chrissy Dorkson. It's on a KX85, I believe, if not a 100. Urbanski wheeling her way through the whoop section. Looking great out there. Tons of traction out there on a track that they were worried they weren't going to have enough water to keep the dust down throughout the day. Mother Nature helping us out a little bit with some rain yesterday evening and also some cloud cover throughout this day. Mel Penner walking around shirtless, as requested by many of the female constituent here in Brandon.
So just got one. What do you think it could be when you have time?
So Urbanski in the lead in both classes here. Sutherland holding down the second spot, but it's Lyndon Urbanski holding down your number 1 spot. I believe he's also your points leader, the 94 machine, leading the number 89. This moto brought to you by 204 Skate Shop, 24 Skate Shop out in Selkirk, Manitoba. One-stop shop for all things lifestyle, skateboarding, and what have you. Now sitting in your second spot is the 82. That's actually Ashlyn McDougall. She holds down the second place spot, but many seconds adrift from Bailey Urbanski, who's currently your leader. She's got a big lead right now. A couple of Perfanics in this, I believe that's the 280. The 237 of Ryder Perfanic. I think Taylor and Rivette also out there holding things down for the Rivette clan. Last weekend, their old man racing in the Pro National. His first Pro National at the age of 33. Pretty impressive to be riding out there with the likes of Colton Fostiati and the rest of the top end pros. Directly following this moto, we'll have the 250C class. Some talented individuals in the 250C class. There's always a lot of riders that are they're new to motocross. They're new to competing at this level. So obviously some inexperience sometimes results in some crashes and some entertaining racing either way. So be sure to watch that moto in its entirety. Deegan McIntosh on the 813 out there, navigating this beautiful raceway here in Brandon, Manitoba, Farm Boys Raceway as it's called. Good to see Ryan Douglas out there earlier with a brand new helmet. I understand that's new for this year. looking very sharp with his fly racing apparel. Orbanski continues to lead, making it look easy. Her first year aboard the 85cc machine, clicking off the laps, standing where she needs to stand. Absolutely flying is Bailey Orbanski right now, enjoying a sizable lead. As Brady McLeod, one of his mechanics or people working in his pit, proceed to frankly rev the crap out of that 250F that doesn't sound very good. Now opening up a lead similar to his sister's. Lyndon Orbanski seems to have dropped Jet Sutherland like a bad habit and now is all alone in first place in the 78 class in the 50 division. If I'm not mistaken, Orbanski also will ride a 65cc later today. The 50s and the little ladies today riding the full course, not cutting things off whatsoever. Gotta say, this track is in unbelievable condition in terms of moisture on the track. It's been known to get dry here in the past, but looks like they did a great job prepping the track, and looks like we're gonna have a great day of racing. Especially with this cloud cover, keeping a bit of moisture in the track. There's Sutherland now holding down the number 2 spot, but like I said, many a seconds adrift right now. He's a number of corners behind in one section or one lap, so there's a good chance that maybe he had gone down in that lap. Holding down third is the 237 of Ryder Profanic. Profanic catching some big air there for a 50. He's on a mission. We've got the 21 machine of Adrian Demaray. He's aboard that Cobra. Only a couple of laps left in this one. One lap, actually. Orbanski on her final tour around for this first moto. The little ladies and 50cc 7 to 8 class. Up next, we've got the 250C class. Don't. Ricky Fredrickson, Bryce Fair, Matthew Clausen, Brandon Kokoradze, Zach Plaster, James Dahlman, your current points leader in the 250C class. That's Nathan Williamson, Tyler Brychuk, Blake Jameson, Jonathan Friesen, Grant Price, Rick Penner, Dustin Clausen, Leonardo Friesen, Devin Wall, Sean Banman, Parker Douglas, Nathan Meesey, Jordan Willie, Austin Humphreys, Billy Rempel, Shay Martin, Eric LeMay, Brendan Mazika, and Brandon Dick. That rounds out your 250C class. One lap flag still out. I believe Bailey Urbanski should and does collect that number one ride, and we'll end up this moto with the victory. Bailey Urbanski continuing to dominate in the little ladies class. This being her first year on the little bike, or on the big bike rather, as far as the 80cc is concerned. She's been riding a 65 for a number of years, still does so in the 65 class, and a number of wins so far, to her credit, so far in the 250 or the little ladies division, as well as the 65 class that she currently rides in. Excellent ride from her, and look for more success as the years go on from Bailey Urbanski. A few battles yet to be settled out there, as Urbanski had a pretty sizable lead on not only the little ladies division, but the rest of the 50cc 7-8. You got the 221. The 221 not on my list currently. The 82 machine of McDougall. Taylor Rivette makes his way around her as they make their way towards the finish line. 250C class out next. Following that moto, we'll have the 250B class, and the 85cc 7 to 11 and 12 to 16 will no doubt feature the likes of McGuire, Yaruski, and Bryce Wage. Extremely fast riders in their own right. They've been doing battle all season long. Last weekend, McGuire getting bested most of those motos by Bryce. It's been the other way around for a lot of the motos. So those guys battled tooth and nail. Friends on and off the track. But when it gets competitive, you know those kids are going to twist the throttle and make something special happen. Checkered flag is out for the little ladies division, as well as the 50cc.
And then switch to mine right after.
50cc 7-8 class making their way off the track. It'll be a quick start here. Left-handed corner, hairpin. Your head referee, Roger Lavoie, giving them the board sideways. The 30 board. 5-second board is up. Revs are up, gate is down. 250C class screaming towards the start. Sneaking around the inside is Ricky Fredrickson, but it's Zach Plaster with your whole shot. Sneaking around up the inside. Just about everyone gets away clean except for a couple of one Suzuki ended up getting together in that first little few feet just outside of the gate there. So it's Plaster followed by Fredrickson, a local boy out of Brandon. The 6-1, the 161. Not the greatest start from Nathan Williams, and he'll be coming from the back. A tough moment for Sean Bandman there. He goes down, trying to make his way back into the fray. 79 machine on the 125. Not on my list, but not the greatest start from him. Looks like he's got an issue with that front fender. We'll have to look for him possibly to get pulled off the racetrack for some malfunction equipment. As your head medic walking around with Baileys and coffee, no doubt.
Double.
Double the Baileys?
Yep.
All right, fair enough. A double dose of Bailey's for your head medic on the day. The Extreme Sports Medics taking care of us each weekend. Used to be Moto Medic back in the day, but I think Moto served his time. Needed someone else to take over as Plaster takes your first lap lead, followed by the 14 of Fredrickson. Kawasaki in the third place position very well could be Kokorad's, followed by the 101. Familiar machine up front. That's Nathan Williamson. Start to file through as the 161. Also not on my list. That is extremely frustrating for me to not have that rider's number in my list. Leads me to believe there might be more riders in this class than what is on my list, but either way, we'll announce it as we see it, I guess. The 161 currently in the 4th place spot. Tough start to the moto for Nathan Misi or Masai, I'm not too sure, but either way, Nathan Misi having a rough moto. Zach Plaster leading the way so far, but he's got company. On the gas in a big way and moving is Nathan Williamson, throwing the bike sideways over that big, what used to be the finish line jump here in Brandon. It's good to see Dustin Clausen up there, back after a number of years, or a year and a bit removed from the series. I believe there was a couple of injuries holding them back. 16 machine of Bryce Fair out there, as well as the 127 of Blake Jameson. We'll have a number 4, the 161 machine. A couple of Suzuki's rounding out your field. That's the 174 of Jonathan Friesen. Not to be confused with the 172 of Blake Jameson. Still in the lead is Zach Plaster. Looks like he's got about 4 seconds on the quickly approaching Nathan Williamson. Williamson, his first year, I believe, in the 250C class. I don't believe he's been bested in a moto so far in Manitoba, so I think he wants to continue that winning streak. This would be his 5th moto of the year. Beautiful weather for motocross so far today. Gorgeous track out here in Brandon. They've done some work to add in some safety for the flaggers. Each spot where there's a flagger has a raised platform with some shelter. Great to see that they would install that to make the job of flagging a little bit more enjoyable for those who do it. Plaster now only enjoying about a 2-second lead. Williamson quickly approaching. He wants to share that lead. He wants to win this thing. We've got Fredrickson in the 14 to 125. Then we've got Tyler Hurajchuk, followed by Kokorad's. The 247, Parker Douglas. And now a battle breaking out. I believe that's Leonardo Friesen. Leonardo Friesen currently doing battle as well. So 125 making their around the track. There's the 189 of Grant Price, followed by Fair and Mazika. 125 machine of Matthew Clausen out of Sydney, Manitoba. Excellent to see Matthew out there. Nathan Meese also out there aboard his Suzuki. He's followed closely by Jonathan Friesen aboard his Suzuki. We're past the halfway flag now. Your leader coming through, and it's a new bike. And pressing to the front since the very get-go of this one, Nathan Williamson, the 101. Holding down that #1 spot for the 5th straight moto. Has not lost a moto yet so far in this one. The 2018 season. Out front now. He's followed by Zach Plaster. Now your #3 rider is none other than the 111 of Horajchuk. And looking to make a move as well is Kaporitz. Kaporitz moves into that #4 position, relegating Frederiksen back to the 14th place spot. Parker Douglas making his presence known as he goes out and around Sean Banman. Great start from the 161. Currently moving backward in the pack. The 540 of Shea Martin. Martin having himself a good ride just outside the top 10 right now, followed by Grant Price. And you've got Justin Clausen for his 125. It's like Bryce Fair wants to make the move, and does. Fair able to make the move because he was able to jump what used to be the old finish line here in Brandon. Number of layout changes gone on to Brandon over the years. This one corner to my left has not changed much. Neither has that whoop section. Always kind of been there, but we've gone both directions through that section. Rick Penner, followed by Devin Wall. Billy Rempel out there on the 422 machine, 250C class. 1 lap to go for Nathan Williamson and the rest of the class. Williamson now opening up a sizable lead. Check that, actually. Plaster keeping Williamson in check. Excellent ride so far from Williamson. Kaporitz has now put himself in the #3 ride, relegating Horajchuk just outside the top 4, back to that 4th place spot, holding down 4th. For now is Ricky Frederiksen, but knocking on the door is the 223 of Sean Banman aboard his Husqvarna. And you've got Parker Douglas on his Yamaha. Brand new Fox gear, looking good out there. He currently holds down the 5th or 6th place spot, actually. And then you got the 161. He's not on my list, but he's currently in 6th or 7th. I count all the way back right now. Shea Martin set to do battle here on the last lap with the 189 of Grant Price. Adam Orvis out there able to take some photos as well as help out a fallen rider. One of the riders going down. That's the 803 of Brandon Dick going down. Toward that Monster Energy Yamaha. The 79 machine having some issues with that front fender. The rest of the riders continue to file through. Looking for the checkered flag is out. Nathan Williamson grabs that coveted #1 ride. He'll continue on his dominance here in the 250C class as Matthew Clausen and the rest of the 250C class continue to make their way off the track. Following this moto, the 250B class will follow. Moto slated for 14 minutes before, and also is with 1 lap after that, so 14 minutes plus a lap, I believe. This is the 250B division. Not in the 250B class today is the 989 of Jordan Gledhill. Gledhill racing a 450 today, does not qualify to race in the 250 class. His 252 stroke did allow him to race in the 250 class. He was successful with it. Look for a good start from Leon Desmarais. He's been a bit of a whole shot artist. Damian Rogers, as well as Aaron Martin, Ryan Kokorats, his brother, just got 3rd in that last moto. The 31 machine of Matthew Stokes, Declan Cosgrove, Trenton Hebert, Kieran McCullough, Michaela Ham, owner-operator of the New Image. If you're looking for graphics for your motorcycle, some cool number plates, please do look up Michaela Ham and the New Image, as well as Ham Suspension Services. Brady McLeod, I believe, is out there. I think I see the yellow Yamaha out there, unless he's riding his 125 two-stroke. Could ride either one. Miles Othwaite making his way back to Manitoba Racing, hasn't been here in a while. Austin Dorn, fresh off of a 2nd place finish at the Parts Canada Amateur Open this last weekend. Kelby Minshell, I believe he's also a local rider. Riley Patterson, Jake Parnell. That's the 250B class, a few others also involved. We'll see how they all shake out. It's a Kawasaki out front. A pair of Kawasaki's. That's all Austin Dorn with a good start there. A couple of riders also going down. Looks like the 72 machine of Hebert getting caught in that one. Off-weight, after not racing for quite some time, grabs himself a whole shot and he's out front. Miles off-weight, followed by Austin Dorn. And the 891 of Colt Mitchell. Trenton Hebert, as well as Damian Rogers, looking to play a little bit of catch-up after going down in the first corner. Your entire class rounded out by the 999 of Orion Delorier. He's at the bottom of my list for the numbers from 1 to 999. He's also the tail end of this pack as they start to navigate this beautiful landscape here in Farm Boys Raceway, Brandon, Manitoba. The first and only time we visit Brandon throughout the 2018 Manitoba Motocross Championship Series. Not the best of starts, but moving the way through the pack is the 125 machine, the 31 of Matthew Stokes. Still out front, the 89, the 98. That's Miles Othwaite. Othwaite doesn't race a ton. You can often see him at either a race like this in Brandon or Minnedosa. Occasionally you'll see him at another racetrack, but does like to stay close to home. I believe that work is his main reason for not attending all Manitoba Motocross events, but when he does show up, he usually makes some noise. Doing exactly that as he navigates that tricky rhythm section, heading back towards the 85-foot Showtime tabletop in the middle of the track. Into the switchback section, very tight. Throttle control is paramount in this section as Austin Dorn in full stalker mode. Got his Kawasaki 250F on rails right now. Looks like Matthew Stokes looking to make a move here. Behind the 689, 691. This is kind of Colt Mitchell. As suspected, Brady McLeod out there on his 125, the 250F, not available for this moto. Randy Neufeld out there as well. Riley Smith on the 519. Trenton Hebert starting to make his presence known after a terrible start. Must have had an issue with the 264 machine of Jake Parnell. He finds himself close to the back of the pack. Orion Delorier making some passes, getting past the 24 machine of Damian Rogers and the 26 of Aaron Martin. Another lap completed. The 89, the 98. Why do I keep screwing that up? The 98 machine of Miles Othwaite. Othwaite having himself a great moto. His first moto in Manitoba Motocross for 2018. Currently leading. Does a fair bit of that when he does show up to Manitoba Motocross, having himself a decent ride. Excellent traction out there, an absolute perfect day for motocross. Some cloud cover, not a hot day whatsoever. The riders will be able to go heads up and ride to the best of their ability. Matthew Stokes must have had an issue at some point, now finds himself well outside the top 10. 691 of Mitchell, followed by the 531 and the 27 of Torres. Then you've got Declan Cosgrove as well as nice move there from the 79 machine of Kieran McCullough. Just bold corner here right after the whoops. He's able to drive it in hard and get the pass made before hitting this big tabletop sitting right in front of us here. Trenton Hebert on the Rockstar Energy Drink Kawasaki. Damian Rogers now doing some battle with Michaela Ham. We've got a change to the lead now with Austin Dorn holding down the number 1 spot. He moves just ahead of Miles Othwaite. Othwaite, a local rider, I do believe, having himself a good ride, but now sits in the second place spot. He'll chase Dorn around this beautiful landscape of Farm Boys Raceway. They try and sort out who's going to win this thing. They've got a sizable gap over third place, so it's a table set for two. Dorn leads the way, capturing the lead on this last lap. Only a couple of laps left in this one. Dorn is your leader. Othwaite looks to try to make the move up the inside. Didn't work out for him though. Looks like the Fords wants his share of the podium. Three-pack of 125s buzzing out there with Matthew Stokes making his way back to the front of the pack. He's gone out and around Declan Cosgrove, now setting his sights on Brady McLeod. Jake Parnell able to make the move in the sweeper section. Looked like the 79 machine of McCullough was holding him up a little bit. Tried the outside on two different corners before eventually making the pass stick. One lap to go. One lap to go for Austin Dorn, who's now opened up a sizable lead over Othwaite. Othwaite held on as long as he could. Maybe his first race of the year, resulting in a little bit of arm pump. The intensity of racing much different from the intensity of practice, so might possibly be practicing a fair bit, but wasn't able to hold on for the moto. Austin Dorn enjoying his share of a moto victory this last weekend at the Parts Canada Amateur Open, but wasn't able to finish off the job and get an overall championship for the day, relinquishing that regional championship, but looking to possibly go 1-1 on this day. Excellent ride so far from him. Had a good start, put himself in a good position. Now finds himself in the #1 spot with a good 10-15 second gap in one lap here that he's been leading. Developed quite the lead. Over Miles Othwaite. Now into the third place spot. Like I'd mentioned, he most likely will find himself. Before us, amazingly, making a ton of ground up. And now inside the top 5 is Matthew Stokes. Something must have happened on that last lap for Colton Mitchell to go from third place all the way back to outside the top 6. Mitchell looking very frustrated right now, and I have not seen the 94 machine of Brady McLeod go by yet, unless I missed him. We do have medical personnel on the track. That very well could be for McLeod. I had mentioned I did not see him go by, and that would explain a little bit of a jumble up in the current running standings just outside the top, as Othwaite and Dorn take the checkered flag. A couple of riders looking very concerned there, including the 31 of Matthew Stokes, who rounds out your top 5. There's your 250C class. Looks like we might have a short break here. So that down rider can be attended to. I'm fairly certain that Brady McLeod, I did not see him go by. If that's not the case, I apologize. But it very well could be the 94 of Brady McLeod. Can you mute me? Sweet, I better not say anything dumb. Revs are up, gate is down, 85cc, 12 to 16, 7 to 11 class. Couple of Huskies out front, but it's the Kawasaki on the gas. Who is this newcomer? The 15 machine, I believe, of Jesse Westfall. Excellent start from him. Great start from Westfall. But quickly into the lead. Ashton Halbert on the 103 machine. With your 1 and 2 points leaders out of the race right now, as they're attending a amateur national in the States trying to qualify for Loretta Lynn's. That opens up some running room for the 103 machine of Ashton Halbert. An excellent opportunity for him to lead some laps, feel what it's like to be out front and basically uncontested. So far, showing very well. It's wrong to assume that Maguire Yaruski would be in this class, as understanding that he had his heart set on going to the Loretta Lynn's Amateur Nationals, which is basically the biggest race, as the Kentucky Derby, if you would, of amateur racing in the United States of America. Both himself and Bryce Wage making their efforts to get into that race. So now your leader on the 103 machine out front and styling. That's Ashton Halbert, making it look easy so far. Brendan Clausen on the 369 machine, having some issues on the first lap, but he gets himself going. 7 to 11 class action here from Brandon, Manitoba Farm Boys Raceway. We're broadcasting live on MB Sports Network on Facebook as well as YouTube. All of these races are available as an archive later on during the week, so hopefully you guys are watching and enjoying the broadcasts. Aboard his Husqvarna, nothing new as far as the leader goes that way in this class. We've seen Husqvarnas leading all season long so far, but it's a new bike, the 103 machine of Ashton Halbert. A little kick from the rear end there, but he's absolutely flying. Got Clausen pulling down the second place spot, followed by the 15 machine of Westfall. Jesse Westfall. He's opening up a gap on Kalen Vanlin, followed by Sam Cosgrove. That's rounding out your top 5. Rounding out your top 10, the rest of the 12 to 16 class. You got the 18 of Michael Halson, as well as the 714 of Vanessa Stinson. Carter Van Bull. Brandbold, I believe, is your leader in the 7 to 11 class. That is, of course, unless maybe Jacob Fredrickson, someone along those lines, has made their way into the back half of the 12 to 16 class. We'll have to keep our eyes on that. The 501 machine of Chris Boyko, as well as the 56 of Teenan Churchin. Churchin out there having a good ride as well. We also got the 82 machine for her first or second race of the day. That's Ashlyn McDougall making his way around the track for his third lap. I believe this race is about 3 to 5 laps, or 4 to 5 laps roughly. But right now, it's the 54 machine of Clausen that's now put himself in the lead. Riley Clausen out of Southwark, Manitoba, now your leader. The 103 machine may have had an issue. Albert is followed by Jesse Westfall. Van Lith holding down 4th place, followed by Sam Cosgrove. Jordan Weber, followed by the 292 of Dyson Peters. For his KTM, normally rides a Yamaha, but he's on a KTM today. Number 1 spot in the 7 to 11 class, the 51. Oh, I have a 51 on my, that's Van Boel. I think he's in the other class though, I think he's 7 to 11. I think your 7 to 11 leader very well could be Carver Friesen out of Grumthal, Manitoba. I believe that is the case. So far, all riders very successful at navigating this track. No incidents so far, as I can see. A couple of yellow flags, but no red cross flags in this moto. We had one in this last moto with, I do believe that was Brady McLeod going down hard. Looks like he's gonna walk back to his pit though. Still your leader is Clausen, followed by the 103 of Halbert. Still battling it out for the 4th and 5th place spot. Van Lith, Sam Cosgrove on the 12. Checkered flag will be out shortly. Riley Clausen is able to hold on to this one. Vanessa Stinson making that 85cc Kawasaki absolute scream out there, having herself a great ride. Last lap flag is out for the rest of the class, but shortly we'll see the checkers come out. Switch to checkers, and it's Riley Clausen. Clausen takes the victory, his first victory of 2018. Excellent moto win for the kid out of Southwark, Manitoba. He's been working on it for quite some time. Finds himself that number 1 ride. Halbert takes home the 2nd place spot. Gotta think that he was hoping for a little better result at the beginning of that moto. The 15 machine of Westfall carries down your top 3. And I believe Vanlith was able to hold on to that 4th place spot just ahead of Sam Cosgrove. There's Cosgrove there. I believe Vanlith ended up ahead of him. Directly following this moto, looks like we're going to the big class. 250As are out next. The fastest 250F riders in the whole province. Decent turnout for today's race in the 250A class. Let's see if we can get a running order as the 85 classes make their way off the track, completing their laps. Excellent racing from them. 250A class. Brandon and Travis Clausen, Jimmy Cornelison, Derek Donald, fresh off of all 4 of those riders riding in the National last weekend in Minnedosa. Same thing for Devin Weeb, as well as Travis Mossett and Jim Fredrickson. Tyler Groening on the 252 stroke, number 261. Then you've got the 309 of Adam Orvis, the 314 of Josh Firmer, always a threat to win races here in Manitoba. The 444 machine of Brady Love, and the local boy Chase Fardeau. Final countdown is on the Bob FM radio right now, which is kind of fitting as we're about to go racing here in the A class. Final countdown before we see these guys absolutely fly. 250A class, often where you'll find some of the most accomplished racers in Manitoba. Young riders still very active as so plumes of 2-stroke smoke coming out the back section of Groening's machine. I think he's the only 2-stroke out there for this race. I could be mistaken, but I think that is the case. The gate is down. They race towards that first corner. I believe it's going to be a Clausen that takes it. The Clausen brothers go 1-2. Another Suzuki there. 3-pack of Suzukis take the lead so far, but it is the 314 of Firmer, sandwiched between a pair of Clausens. Ryan Clausen out front, followed by Firmer. And you've got Jim Fredrickson and Travis Clausen. Riders file through, and your class is rounded out by Travis Mossett as well as the 309 of Orvis. All the riders start to file their way through. Coming up after this moto is the Open C class, based on what I can see rolling towards the line. And I'm correct, Open C, 12-lap moto, or 12-minute moto. 12-lap moto would be a long one. Then you got the 65cc 10 to 11, followed by the Manitoba Schoolboy class. A class out there on the track right now. Your leader grabbed the whole shot, and he's doing quite well with it. That's the number 2 of Brian Clausen. He's followed by the 314 of Firmer. Got jumping Jimmy Fredrickson on the 250F behind him from Trans-Canada Motorsports. Fairly certain the top 5 motorcycles are actually from Trans-Canada Motorsports. Pro riders showing their appreciation for pretty much the only dealer in Manitoba that does an honest effort of supporting motocross in Manitoba, coming out to each race, sponsoring riders, and giving the race support that is also valuable to the racing series in Manitoba. Is Trans-Canada Motorsports. I think it's trying to rain a little bit here in Brandon. The winds pick up a little bit, but either way, we're sticking to racing. The only thing that'll stop us is some lightning. Brian Clausen doing extremely well so far, but knocking on the door is the 309 machine, followed by the 5120, and Devin Lee holding counting on the top four. Brady Love holding down the 5th place spot, followed by the 17 machine of Cornelison. Then you've got the 55 machine of Derek Donald. Uncharacteristic first lap for Travis Clausen. Now finds himself in the back of the pack. Must have had an issue somewhere. He finds himself more than a few seconds adrift of the 2-stroke machine of Tyler Gording.
Go by here, I'll take them all here. We go down there, go north, and then we go in the blind spot. I'll pick them up over there. Look at it. We only have 472 more races to go. How many got it done?
Head referee Roger the Dodger Lavoie getting a bird's eye view from atop what used to be the old Brandon finish line jump. This track actually, for the most part, being raced backward to how it used to from its original layout. Clausen continues to lead, I believe, followed by the 314. That Suzuki is Josh Firmer. 3rd place spot, Jimmy Fredrickson out of Brandon, Manitoba. You've got the 78 machine of Devin Weeb. Weeb, an accomplished curler and an accomplished motocross racer. Having won his fair share of Manitoba motocross motos in the D class in years previous. Now holds down a top 5 spot in this moto. 5th place spot is Brady Love aboard his Kawasaki. He now feels the pressure from Jimmy Cornelison, followed by Chase Pardo on the 493 machine, followed by Travis Mossett and the 55 machine of Derek Donald. Now doing battle is the 261 of Tyler Gording and the 3 machine of Travis Clausen. Then you've got the 309 of Adam Orvis. Orvis dedicating a lot of his time coming out to every single one of the Manitoba Motocross events, racing in the Pro Class in the 250As, as well as taking a lot of photos out on the track. So great to see him out there enjoying himself on 2 wheels, getting that much needed throttle therapy after a hard week of work. From my understanding, I believe he's could very well still be with the military at some capacity. Orvis taking at least one tour in the Canadian military, going overseas, doing his part, and thanking him for his service, as well as his efforts to go out to these tracks and take the photos that so many riders enjoy to post on Monday mornings once they're posted. Now into the number 1 ride, the 314. We've seen him there before. Josh Firmer had an electrical issue in the 250 class last race. I believe that was in the 250 or the Open A class. Perhaps that was the first moto. The 250s, either way, wasn't able to capture his first overall of the year. Now looking good. Moving in that 3rd spot and looking to move forward is Jim Fredrickson. Excellent ride from him. Love still holding down the 4th place spot, followed by Cornelison, Fardo, and Mossett. Then you got the 55 machine of Derek Donald, for the most part by himself, but don't look now, but here comes the 3 machine of Travis Clausen. You got the 269, or 261 rather. Of Tyler Gorning. Rounding out your field is the 309 of Adam Orvis. Throw a blanket over your top 3 as Josh Firmer, sorry, Aaron is not here. Well, he might be here, but he's not racing. Josh Firmer out front. You got a tiny bit of a gap over the 2 of Brian Clausen and the 120, the 120 of Jumpin' Jimmy Fredrickson. Fredrickson, owner-operator, of course, of Fredrickson Performance Centers. A local gym in Brandon where a lot of Brandon Wheat Kings and local athletes hone their fitness and their skills. Firmer's your leader. Has been since about a lap ago. Is able to grab that lead, but now all over the back of Brian Clausen is Jim Fredrickson. Looks like Devin Weaves lost touch with the top 3 a little bit. Now rides on his own in the 4th place spot as Fredrickson takes his spot away in an aggressive move. Brian Clausen not happy about that aggressive move from Fredrickson. Looks like he's going to go after him here. Now solidly holding down the 5th place spot. That's Cornelison, followed by Love and Pardo. Then you got Travis Mosset. Fighting his way back after a pretty bad first lap is Travis Clausen on the number 3 machine. He's worked his way back up past Derek Donald, setting his sights on the next rider, which is Travis Mosset. He's going to have to do some homework to be able to catch him now, though. Only a couple more laps in this one. Clock's ticking down. Still haven't got the last lap flag, so at least a couple more laps for Josh Firmer, Jim Fredrickson, and Brian Clausen to do battle. Looks like they've gapped each other out quite significantly right now. 4th place is Devin Weeb. He's followed not so closely by, that's the 17 of Jimmy Cornelison. Pair of Kawasaki's behind Cornelison is now Love. Has relinquished that position, that 5th place spot, to chase Fardeau. Fardeau is a local rider. I imagine has a few more laps around this location than say a guy from Kenora like Brady Love is. Not to say Brady Love doesn't have some time here. He's been racing in Manitoba for well over a decade, so we have some experience on this track, but second place spot, Jimmy Fredrickson, followed by Clausen, Weeb, and Cornelison. After Cornelison, you've got Chase Fardeau on the 493 machine, followed by the 444 Brady Love, and the 192 of Travis Mosset. Running out of time to do so, but now Travis Clausen going to work his way up and catch the 192 of Travis Mosset. Then you've got the 55 machine, Derek Donald. Brought to you by TransCanada Motorsports and Prove It, a ketogenic diet supplement company. I like to bug him that I think that it's a pyramid scheme, because it is one. It is. Just kidding, of course. Either way, one lap to go. As now a battle between 250F of Adam Orvis and the 252 stroke of Tyler Gorning. Something to race for the two guys battling the back portion of the pack here. Racing happening all over the track. The 314 machine out front. Got a sizable gap over the 120 machine of Jim Fredrickson, followed by the number 2 of Brian Clausen. Clausen is followed by Devin Weeb. He's got a pretty small gap back to the 17 machine of Cornelissen. Cornelisson's not going to give up though. Lots of fitness on Cornelissen and the want to win. He wants to get into that 4th place spot. 5th is not good enough. Just ask him. Oh yeah, the 17 machine is pushing. He wants to get that 4th place spot. He wants to pass Devin Weeb. 6th place spot held down by Chase Pardo, followed by Cornelissen, not able to make that pass stick. Brady Love now being hunted down by Travis Mossat. Checkered flag in hand. Just a short bit left for the 314 machine. Yeah, I am doing the announcing right now. Yeah.
Okay. I can help you if you want.
All right, cool. That's Josh Firmer with your lead. Not too far adrift was Jim Fredrickson, followed by the 2 machine of Brian Clausen. Clausen led early, but relinquished that lead to both Firmer and Fredrickson. Fredrickson, of course, in local. Got plenty of laps around Farm Boys Raceway in both directions that it's ran over the years. The battle for Yamaha supremacy goes to Adam Orvis. The 261 machine of Tyler Gorning, relinquishing that position on the last lap here. Prairie Hill Racing's Brian Clausen makes his way back to his pit area. Great race here. We are live on Facebook, mbsportsnetwork.com, as well as the YouTube channel. If you're joining us on YouTube, welcome. We're about to go C-Class Open racing as they stream towards that first corner. Looks like Bryce Fair with a great start, but don't look now, but here comes Nathan Williamson. He's been pretty much perfect in the C-Class so far for 2018 and looks like he wants to take another victory. The 101 machine aboard his Yamaha 252 stroke, already in a good position with Kokora rounding out your top 3. Then you've got Leonardo Friesen and the 111 of Baraichuk. Halliburton holding down the 6th place spot. The 217, the 71, the 172. All the riders starting to file through now.
Lifespan Cable wants to pick it up. Okay. We're working on a deal with, when we're broadcasting hockey, they grab our feet. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And the kids win in this one so far. That's good. Got here. I want to go to the new image to go do so. Michaela Ham, the new owner of the new image, formerly known as Image Plus, as it was for, oh, I don't know, about 20 years of making backgrounds and number plates for a number of years. Of course, that was a local photographer doing a lot of that work. Rob Godet used to come out, take photos. You could have them permaplaqued or printed as an 8x10. That service no longer available in Manitoba, but great to see him do that for a number of years that he did do so. So it's Williamson out front, as he has been all year long, throwing the bike sideways as only a B rider usually can. And you've got the 67 of Kokoritz, followed by the 16 machine of Bryce Fair, probably his best moto of his young career, followed by the 111 of Haraychuk. Then you've got the 261, that's none other than Leonardo Friesen, and that's your top five here in the Open C class